It's a bear. I think the coin got that one right today. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. I've got the live LBTS cam up here at the Windjammer Resort and Hotel. Great little hotel if you ever stay down this way. And boy, man, look at that stormy weather. Kind of like the economy and kind of like the political environment out there as well. Take a look at this. We got some waves here in Lauderdale by the Sea, actually, and a couple seabirds out there looking for some fish. Lots of wind, though, 70 degrees and cool as well. Hope you're having an enjoyable day, no matter where you're listening from. And to my South Florida peeps, man, oh man, we've got some great opportunities here. The price of gold just kind of taking a big dump, and I'll explain why here in just a second, but let me do my quotes for the day. I got two actually here. The only, I like my quotes. The only people who are mad at you for speaking the truth are those people who are living a lie. And folks, man, I saw this one. I just knew I had to share it with you. And you're welcome to do a cut and paste or go look at. You can actually type this in and put it on your screensaver because this is so true. I mean, this applies to so many things right now. The truth. People get really upset when you tell the truth nowadays. And you know what that's caused from? It's caused from what they call cognitive dissonance. And that means when people get conflicting opinions or conflicting beliefs on something, their brain just goes into complete lockdown. And they'll typically stick with the lie they know the best. And that's, we got a lot of people in America living a lie. And why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. Corporate news, the corporate spin, Hollywood, the general, too much television, too much TV news, whether it's the blue side or the red side, folks, I'm telling you, it corrupts your mind in such an awful way. You're living nothing but the narrative of the government and the big corporate media out there. And here's my second quote for the day. We hang the petty thieves and appoint the great ones to public office. And I can't tell you how true this is right now, and it has been for decades and decades and decades. It just gets exceedingly worse. I don't think I've ever seen such corruption in government in my lifetime here in the United States, and I'm sure it happens all over the world. It's pretty obvious to see that the elected leaders worldwide are running roughshod over their people, lying to them on a daily basis, and all this good stuff. But that's why we're here to get together and talk about this kind of stuff. Let's first get into something that I think is real important to share this morning. And you can tell I'm not in a grumpy mood. I'm usually in a happy mood. But you know what? I'm in one of those let's do something moods. And the price hammering that you saw today, and we're going to get into where markets are currently, gold and silver, and I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing they're down as well. But the price discovery in the United States is primarily, and globally, is primarily done by the COMEX, okay? And who owns COMEX? These folks do right here, the CME Group. You see that? There's a contact number, but the CME Group owns COMEX. They're the ones, they're the casino owners. COMEX, picture COMEX and the LBMA, which is in London, where most price discovery is set for the price of gold and silver, where the prices are made for basically paper markets. And supposed to be physical. It's supposed to be a fair physical market, but they haven't been, folks. This particular group right here, in my opinion, and the opinions of a lot of people way smarter than me, believe that they run a crooked casino, and we know this pretty much. I mean, we in our opinions, we know this. And you note that I say opinion. The only reason is it's just in case one of these bastards tries to sue me or something like that. But that's the only reason I'm saying opinion. But we know this happens, and we know they're crooked. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more. And I know some of you are getting tired of hearing this, but I'm going to get into a little bit more meat on the situation here. And the fact is, I tell you what, they do put phone numbers. The CME Group puts phone numbers out there. Why do they put phone numbers? Because they said, contact us, find support. You need to start using our technology and resources for customers. You know what? We're customers in some way, aren't we? We use their stupid price discovery, their crooked price discovery for buying our precious metals. So you know what? I'm going to start recommending call these people. I'm going to give you a number to call here. And I'm sure if a couple hundred of us call on a weekly basis, be polite, be nice, because I actually talked to one of the ladies on the phone, a super nice lady. She just works there. It's not her fault that her bosses are a bunch of crooks, in our opinion, all right? And don't go up calling crooks. If really a smart way to do this, I'm going to give you a phone number here. Hang on, let's see if I can find this. boy, one of the CME Treasury is, she looks pretty important, but let's just ignore her for right now. And where is product information, service, investor relations? I think I just passed it. Hang on one second. Investor relations, that'd be a good place to go, but hold on. We're going to go to where you complain. And I must have just went right past that. Give me one second. Oh, boy. Here we go. Market regulation. There we go. What I'm going to recommend, folks, is see this number right here? This is the CME Group. It's called Market Regulation. This is their phone number. They're open from 8 to 5 p.m. Mondays through Fridays, okay? And this is their phone number right here. I'm going to blow that up for you. Ready? Copy it down, write it down. And my recommendation, start calling, start making complaints. We know this market's rigged. And if you can explain to them, you know, that they allow these big commercial short positions to do, to manipulate collusively together, monkey hammer these markets down. Don't use the term monkey hammer. Manipulate these markets down, and use the word fraudulent, in your opinion, fraudulently manipulating these markets down. And gosh, we know this happens. We know it happens. Call up market regulation here. Again, be nice to the lady. Open a case. Ask them if they'll call you back. Flood their phones, folks, and put this number out with your buddies as well. Have them flood their phones because that's what this phone number is for. It's for us to call when we believe that we've been wronged by their CME Group or the casino that they run. And you are being wronged. You're being wronged because this casino caters to the big whales. What do you think happened with that big nickel short with the LBMA last week, where one of the giant whales that they make a ton of money off, that Chinese whale that had a short position in nickel and got absolutely hammered? What happened? Instead of the longs making a lot of money and the people, small investors and other people making money by allowing that short position to fail, they bailed them out, they closed the markets, they changed the rules. The casino basically, here, it's like a casino. You're sitting at the table, all right? Here's the comparison. You're sitting at the table with a couple big whales, all right? All these whales throw in a lot of big money. You've got your small money in. All of a sudden, you hit 21, and you just took the mother load, all right? And the casino comes in, pats you on the back, and says, you know what, sir? We're sorry. We're changing it to blackjack to 20. Not 21. And you look at them like, what the? That's exactly what the CME, or that's what LBMA just did with the nickel, all right? So, you know what this is? It's a fraudulent price discovery. It's fraudulent when they cater to the short position. It's fraudulent when they bail out the short positions. Basically, it's telling you that COMEX, CME, and the LBMA run a fraudulent casino, a fraudulent operation. So now that I've said that and I've showed you this phone number, make sure you freeze this page. Don't hesitate to give them a call. Hey, why not harass these motherfuckers? Excuse my language, but it's true. Again, in my opinion. Oh boy, let's take a look. And I don't mean like harass and be mean. And again, the lady that I spoke to, super nice, but make them call you back. Make them use their resources. Let them know that you're watching. Let these people know that you're watching them right here, okay? And oh, there we go. What did I just do there? Oh, I just blew it up too big. All right. Well, anyways, all right, we'll get out of there. You saw that number already. So give them a call, scroll back here in the video a little bit, or at the end of the video, just start the video and you can grab that phone number. Highly recommend you do it though, and the more intelligent case you can make, the better off we kind of are. So just don't call them up and scream, you know, manipulation, manipulation. That's not gonna get you very far. Just talk about the big commercial short positions in silver and gold and why they allow these big commercial positions to collusively drive the price down consistently for decades, all right? And tell them that you think they're crooked. Just tell them what you really think, and because I certainly do. And hey, it may not do something, but maybe we can light up the switchboard there. Gosh darn it, there we go. Even call this number, call the CME switchboard, see if you can find someone else to get a hold of too. But the number I gave you down here was for, as I said, CME market regulation right there, folks. Let you look at it one more time. Let's discuss the overnight prices here. Wow, wow, wow. Just took a look at the gold to silver ratio here, and it's kind of in the 77 to 1, kind of backed off a little bit. It looks like gold took the bigger hit here. However, what have I been saying for a long time? Wherever gold goes, silver will follow. All right? It's just a fact. And the truth is that if gold was going to continue to climb, and I'm going to bring out one of my thoughts here too. Some might say conspiracy, but I'm going to bring out a thought here too, why gold is down low. But Gold's down a lot lower than silver. Gold took the bigger hit of the two, and I really believe that, again, that if gold started to take off into 2100, 2200, started to rise like that, silver would have to go up to $30, and Bank of America would have a bad time with their major silver derivative they've got from JP Morgan, and the short positions, the commercial shorts that are in the COMEX or CRIMEX markets and the LBMA criminal markets would get murdered and have to be bailed out again, and they really don't want to do that. The nickel bailout, the nickel bailout of their big short whale would just prove to you that the market is rigged. That whole LBMA market is rigged for sure. And what blows my mind is that a lot of people in the mainstream media either are not talking about it, or they just ignore it, or they think it's conspiracy. But the fact is, it's not conspiracy anymore. We know for a fact JP Morgan got fined almost $1 billion frickin' dollars for spoofing gold and silver. Spoofing is like the worst you can get, too, all right? And they did that in 2012. That's why we had the collapse market in 2012 in gold and silver, was because of JP Morgan and other big collusive commercial short positions who collusively drove that price down. You know, fact is, probably gold and silver would still be at that level in 2012, and maybe even higher if it wasn't for the criminals at JP Morgan and the criminal commercial short positions and the criminal COMEX CME Casino that allows this to happen, okay? So that's the facts, folks, and in my opinion, that's the facts. Okay. And you know, the other thing, I keep saying opinion because I do have to watch out from being sued by these big fucking 800-pound criminal gorillas and their henchmen, but no less, we know this stuff happens, man. We know it happens. And the truth of the matter is there's a lot of people out there with bigger voices than I, like Ted Butler, gata.org, that have been talking about this for years. And if it was not true, you absolutely would be certain that they would sue the living hell out of Ted Butler. They'd sue the living hell out of gata.org, and then maybe go after the little guys like me, but that would cause them more problems than I'd be worth, for sure. But they'd be suing the hell out of the big voices that are talking about this stuff, and they're not. They're not. You know why? Because it's fucking true. And excuse me, throwing off the F-bombs. You know what? No, I'm not going to, you know, if you got sensitive ears or you're one of those folks who, oh, it hurt my ears, then really you shouldn't be listening to my videos. I'm sorry. That's just true. But if you're a big boy and a big girl, welcome to my videos here. And let's take a look at the prices here. Look at this range, 1915. Almost got it to that sub-19 level, but not too far off. And a high in 1955 where we were sitting last night. Currently sitting at 1922, so we're back on the upswing a little bit here. But again, collusively, these big short positions are hitting the gold price, silver price, obviously platinum, and palladium, even though I don't understand those two markets as well and I don't follow them. Let's take a look at silver, 24.58, a high at 25.14. So we got that sub $25 level going on right now, and currently sitting at 24.82. The strength of silver is extremely impressive to me, though. I think they are battering the F out of silver as much as they can, these big collusive, illegal, criminal short positions at LBMA and at COMEX, the criminal COMEX markets. I think they're trying their very best to batter the price of silver, but they're not succeeding. Platinum, wow, that surprised the shit out of me. I get it. But again, I'm going to get into my little conspiracy that maybe, and again, this is strictly conjecture on my part, the CME Group, COMEX, criminal COMEX, JP Morgan, maybe they're working for the government in some degree, because think about platinum and palladium as well, and gold. That's going to be pretty much what Russia's going to rely on pretty soon, and perhaps, well, you're getting where I'm going with this, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Again, purely conjecture on my part. Let's take a look at the palladium, up 71 bucks. So basically, they have monkey hammered all these metals, and we can kind of take a look where we know which criminal markets. It's either going to be LBMA, mostly for gold, and the CRIMEX markets for silver. Let's take a look at the gold market here, and look at this. What was this? That was, give me one second, Sunday night. There's Sunday night. There's, oh, no, I'm sorry, Monday. There's Monday, and there's Sunday right there. Monday. Oh, my apology. I'm getting this mixed up. Here's Tuesday. I got ahead of myself here. Red was Sunday. Sorry, I lost my days here. March 14th, Sunday. That doesn't make sense. Let me update that real quick here. I should have, there we go. I don't know why it wasn't updating. Sorry about that. That was kind of weird. Didn't update very well. And there we go. That one didn't update either. That's why I couldn't read it properly. Sorry about that, folks. Should have done that before I got you here. Look, that's not even up. Okay. That's still staying on Monday. Come on, man. I just did a JB on you. FJB. I just did an FJB on you. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Finally got that page updated. All right, so let's take a look at the silver prices here. 24-hour spot price just kind of drifting downward overnight. And then if you take a look here, same thing, just kind of drifting downward, a death by 1,000 cuts overnight, but not like the equity markets is suffering right now. So what is this, in my opinion, this provides you a great opportunity to buy this frickin' dip on gold. If they're going to drop it down this level, it does. Now, for folks that were holding on and waiting for that big move upward, man, just bide your time. I said the bide word again, but didn't add the E into it. But just take your time, have patience here. And again, what we're going to see is we don't want to see what we saw last week or 2 weeks ago with the price of gold just shooting up $100 overnight or in a matter of a couple days. That's really not a healthy up market for the price of precious metals. You know, you may see some days like that, but you want to see a consistent rise and a fallback, a consistent rise and a fallback. And we're kind of seeing that a little bit in some ways, but not in a natural form. The fallbacks we're seeing are the fallbacks from just pure manipulative behavior. So in a healthy market, you'll see that climb up, fallback. And again, I'm not a big fan of these big jumps upward like we saw a couple weeks ago. I figured it would back off. I thought it would back off on, not back off, I thought that the COMEX and the LBMA collusive commercial shorts would monkey hammer the markets as soon as Russia and Ukraine started talking about peace talks or something like that. And that has not happened really, so I guess they were pretty desperate and just had to do it on no news. And that's why we had the big monkey hammering this week on no news, because they did not get the news to do it, and they were about to suffer some big losses if it kept going up. So there's my opinion, sticking with that. And let's take a look at the silver prices too. Kind of the same thing, just kind of drifting that downward. We're over that $25 mark, obviously. Here you can see on Sunday night or last Friday, and then they got monkey hammered in the overnight Globex, COMEX, CRIMEX markets, and then continued to go down in Globex and the New York NYMEX markets as well. I don't think a lot of monkey hammering is done with silver in the LBMA markets. That's primarily gold, but no less. Here you go. There's the criminals collusively, the commercial bank criminals collusively. Say that 10 times fast. Slowly monkeying hammering the price of gold and silver down. But folks, here's a big issue. Here's a big problem that no one's talking about. Here's the elephant in the room, the pink elephant in the room, or whatever you want to call it. There's no product out there when it comes to silver right now. Absolutely no product available in ones, tens. And I've only seen this happen a couple times before. And 2008 would be a good example. During the financial collapse, I saw the price of gold and silver drop dramatically. However, there was no physical available whatsoever on silver. A lot of physical sellers, wholesalers, particularly the wholesalers, you can buy from the public. I can. That's the reason I can get silver occasionally, is when a retailer sells. But buying from wholesalers, nothing available, man. Ones, tens, hundreds. And you tell me this market's not fucking rigged, and the COMEX markets. You tell me it's not rigged when there's absolutely no retail silver available out there, yet the prices go down. What ordinary basic economic 101 market does the demand of a product go up dramatically, the product becomes scarce, yet the price goes down? I'll tell you what products. Effing none. None. I didn't throw the whole F word there. None. Okay? That tells you how criminal these markets are, and this is why you probably need to make a call to these people and ask them, how does that happen? All right? Again, don't expect any results, and don't expect maybe even a callback from them, but some of you may get a callback if you can structure your complaint properly. Think about that. For you real smart folks out there that can talk like Ted Butler, and again, this is very technical stuff, how they do it, folks. I don't expect everyone just to get it and be able to call up a regulator and say, hey, this, from the COT report, we can tell this and this and this, and that's what they're really looking for. However, rest assured, gentlemen like Ted Butler have been out there talking about this and alerting the CFTC and COMEX of this illicit, illegal, collusive, commercial short position behavior. Okay, so I say okay a lot. I'm starting to sound like that guy in South Park. Okay. I almost said it again. Well, let's get out of here because you know where my mind is set with that. Just looking at the silver to gold ratio, because I think it was a smart thing to do with gold dropping dramatically. As I said, if gold was going to continue to climb, that ratio got way out of whack. Either two things had to happen. The price of gold had to come down or the price of silver had to go up. I believe, again, that this is all manipulated behavior. But boy, I'm starting to sound like a broken record there. Let's take a look at equity markets right now and see where they're at. Death by 1,000 cuts. If there's any market that's going to get murdered, death by 1,000 cuts, it's going to be this one. And why is that? Because the powers to be, presidential working groups or the plunge protection team, I believe, in my opinion, again, this is more speculative on my part. I think it's something else GAT.org talks about, that they do manipulate the price of gold and silver. The government does. Gold, specifically, not really silver. Ted Butler doesn't believe that, but he's not sure either if they mess with silver markets. But I can believe that they would. I believe they would as well. I mean, think about what they did with the nickel markets, all right? And there you go. There's a height at January 4th, I think it was, or around the beginning of the year. Yep, January 4th was the last high that we got out of the equities market here, and it's been a downward trend of a, man, that looks like a jagged knife. Again, a death of 1,000 cuts. I think we're going to see this go down dramatically. And the only reason I think we haven't seen it collapsed overnight is because of intervention by the government and the Fed. Again, that's speculative in my opinion. I don't have any facts to back that up. But as far as a plunge protection team and that kind of stuff, there would be no records of it. They don't have to discuss it. They can do it in secret. So that's why we probably won't hear about it. Well, let's take a look at the thing that was supposed to replace gold but did not, and is simply acting like a stock or bond, actually. Let's take a look at this, and let me do a quick refresh there. Yep, just kind of following, and what has been our year-to-date kind of thing here. Let's look at 1 month, 1 hour, 1 week. There's our 1 year, and where is that? That's basically, yeah, it's been pretty much downhill from there. Similar to what the stock market's doing. Where's our January, December, January? Well, looks like the stock market would start taking a crap well before Bitcoin really started taking a crap. But again, from this point on, it's kind of, from the new year on, it's almost exactly fallen equities. But as I said, for the last 10 episodes or more, that's, anyways, let's just move along from there. Warning, I may start talking about conspiracy theories at any time, but remember, if only 1% of the most crackpot, crazy conspiracy theories you ever heard in your life were true, wouldn't that be amazing? I think so. Looks like, now this is GAT.org. This is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been talking about, collusive behavior between banking entities like J.P. Morgan. In fact, my thought is, what if J.P. Morgan actually works for the plunge protection team, or actually works for the Fed and does a lot of illegal manipulation in precious metals and other markets as well, oil, food markets? What if they're an arm of the plunge protection team, and that's why they get away with all this stuff? All right, this is why they get fined $1 billion for doing something that would get most people the electric chair. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not much. Jamie Dimon and his henchmen at JP probably should have gotten the electric chair, in my opinion, for that. In China, they execute people for a lot less. I'm going a little bit overboard. I don't think they should be executed for that, but stuck in jail for lifetimes, okay, for what they've done. But you know why I don't think JP, again, speculative on my part and conspiracy, but you know why I don't think J.P. Morgan goes to jail? Because they work for the government. They work for the criminals themselves. And maybe that's why COMEX allowed them to get away with stuff too, because they have to, but who knows? I kind of doubt that. I think the reason COMEX, the criminals at COMEX allow that behavior to happen is because they make money off it, all right? And the same thing with JP. They make money off those trades, but I'm suspecting that JP actually works, they're an arm of the government. They do trades for the government somehow, some way. And think about this. What if, gold, Russia right now is relying, and China is going to start, they've been stockpiling gold for years, all right? They've been stockpiling it for many, many years to build up their reserves. so they can get out of the, so they don't have to hold U.S. dollars or other currency reserves. They're holding metal as a reserve. So Russia has a huge amount of gold. China has a huge amount of gold. What they've actually reported to the IMF and other entities in the past, I'm sure is not true. I'm sure they even have probably more than what they're reporting. No less, if you're in the U.S. Treasury Department and you're in the War Department and you're in the CIA, whatever covert frickin' agencies out there that mess with this stuff too, and you're working with the plunge protection team and you're looking at Russia and China and saying, well, man, they're de-dollarizing, which they should have figured out a long time ago before these idiots made to weaponize the dollar, but no less. This didn't need to happen, by the way. We weaponized the dollar decades ago, but if you listen to my videos, you know this already. If they're thinking about ways to hurt Russia right now, and you know that Russia and China are going to go on the gold standard, maybe you would use your J.P. Morgans. Again, speculative on my part. Maybe you would use the people that allow you to criminally rig markets to hurt the Russians. How would you do that? Drive the price of gold down, all right? But it would also hurt them. So, I'm not sure where I'm going with that conspiracy, and that's exactly what that is. But, it's in the realm of possibility. We know for a fact that governments intervene in markets. We know it. They openly, since 2008, they openly tell us they do. They buy equities, they buy bonds, they buy treasuries. So why would you put it past them that they wouldn't illegally have J.P. Morgan and other people manipulate gold and silver prices for them? I think it's probably very feasible and very possibly true. Again, my opinion. Good article here. Looks like U.S. government also want a nickel shortage. This is on gata.org. This is exactly what I've been just talking about as well, except for gold and silver markets. J.P. Morgan pretty much is the U.S. government, is the claim here. And J.P. Morgan Company's largest counterparty in nickel trades. I recommend you read this article, by the way. gata.org is free. These are the guys that tell you who the riggers are and how they rig the markets. And if you're going to play the casino, you better know who the players are and how they rig the game. That's why you want to read gata.org and Ted Butler. Sanctions against Russia threaten London gold silver markets. See, now, wouldn't this make you suspicious to think that London, the crooks in the London and gold and silver, and trust me, the LBMA are some of the biggest frickin' crooks out there. But COMEX CME Group took that job over eventually because they are the largest gold and silver and commodities platform out there. Again, you got to wonder if there's government intervention going on with gold and silver. Robert Lammer, small, especially again, nothing available. Premiums off the roof, yet the prices are down, and no regulated agencies are doing anything, and no corporate news is talking about it. Half the reason I don't think corporate news is talking about it is because they're in bed with these motherfuckers, and they're also, if they're not in bed with them, then they're just completely ignorant and stupid, and that probably explains a lot of it as well. I don't like corporate media. I think it's a single-point narrative that works for the government or their own best interest. And what's their best interest? Dividing us, getting us to fight against each other. Why they got their hand up your ass. Soviet Metals Exchange. There you go. LME irks traders by freezing nickel market, reversing $4 billion in trade. Yep, they rigged the market, folks. Are idiot COMEX gold and silver future traders paying attention? That's what I've been saying. Are they paying attention to what they did, the LME just did, and by LBMA, LME? I've been saying LBMA. LME did with nickel. That is just insane. They just totally told, the casino just came in and told all the players that after the small players were about to win the 21 hand, the casino came in and said, no, it's not 21 anymore, it's 20. That's the best analogy I can make on how crooked these markets are. Gold demand surges across the world as the war flares up. And this is by Bloomberg News. I got to, again, I don't know why gata.org lists any articles by Bloomberg, because Bloomberg would do a complete expose lying about gata.org. Has never been friendly to gata.org or the realm that these markets are rigged. Why wouldn't they do that? Is because they're part of the rigging process. They're the mouthpiece for Wall Street. They're the mouthpiece for COMEX. They're the mouthpiece. But no less, look, how inconsistent is this? What I'm talking about, cognitive dissonance, right? Gold demand surges worldwide. But just what happened to gold in the last week or two? Folks, if that doesn't tell you how rigged COMEX and the LME, LBMA is, then nothing does. You're suffering cognitive dissonance. And I'm actually, at that point, not cognitive dissonance, because at that point, if you don't see this, you're just plain fucking stupid. Boy, a lot of F words in this one today, but hey, what the heck. Again, my videos are not for the sensitive ears. Ted Butler, I hope you don't mind Mr. Butler. Mr. Butler is the smartest guy out there when it comes to silver being manipulated and the price of silver. I highly recommend that you go to his site, which is Butler Research, and you spend a little bit of money for his really excellent synopsis and thoughts on how this. Nobody knows how this market is rigged better than Ted Butler. Silver, that is, in my opinion. And I hope he doesn't mind that I read this here. I see that people do read snippets of his new articles once in a while. And I think really Ted doesn't just do this to make money. He also does it to get the word out there. So I hope I'm helping doing that. In his newest newsletter, Ted says, "Why the possibility of genuine silver short squeeze may have been temporarily averted appears very much in the cards. I would point out that while it appears that J.P. Morgan can't be faulted for selling metal it had previously acquired at lower prices and therefore at a profit, the fact is that its sales and COMEX deliveries in SLV are illegal as it gets." How so? Perhaps the most salient feature of U.S. commodity law is that no one is allowed to buy or sell a commodity used in interstate commerce with the intent to manipulate prices. Yet, by any measure possible, this is exactly what J.P. Morgan did in its recent issuance of COMEX silver and gold deliveries and likely sales of shares of SLV. It's painfully obvious that without these deliveries and sales by J.P. Morgan, silver and gold prices would have shot significantly higher, and preventing those higher prices was the main intent of J.P. Morgan. Plain and simple, J.P. Morgan bailed out the shorts by its action, clearly violating the law. Folks, I'm telling you, it's beyond criminal. And if you want to keep a copy of this right here. This is even more ammo when you make your phone call weekly to the CME Group to burn up their phone and resources. Trust me, worthwhile doing. Get this out on Wall Street Silver, by the way. Get that number out there. You Wall Street Silver people need to start calling as well. Daily. Screw it. Screw it. Let's torture these people. Again, nice way. Don't be violent. Don't be mean. Just torture them with the truth. And why are you going to torture them with the truth? Hang on a second. What was my little truthy thing here? Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. There we go. No, well, that's another good one on truth, but there's my quote. The only people who are mad at you for speaking the truth are those people who are living a lie. So that's the only people that are going to get mad at you for calling them up, as long as you're polite and civil, and just let them know that you know what they're doing. Okay. Let's just take a look before we close this out. I wanted to tell you what products are available and not available out there. Folks, you're going to have a hard time finding any silver products out there despite these low prices. I think the lower prices are even going to exacerbate the problem and make it worse. Shows you what a crooked market those are. Gosh, if I say crooked one more time, I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to have a sip of coffee. One sec. There we go. Let's see here. Let me move along because I think I've made my point pretty clear. Let's just see what's going on Zero Hedge World. I like ZH, even though some of the articles out here are a little bit out there. Different narrative, different opinions, different viewpoints, which you do not get on any corporate news. When corporate media, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, you get a single corporate narrative. That corporate narrative is typically based on a couple things. It's based on how much money they can make slinging a narrative. It's based on government single-point narratives. It's based on their own narrative, what they want, where they want to push you and what they want you to believe. Again, I've always said you got to question this stuff. Let's take a look, and this is why I like ZH, because you get so many different writers, so many different blogs out there that talk about so many things. I mean, would you read this in Bloomberg or Wall Street Journal or New York Times? No way. Tulsi Gabbard smeared as treasonous liar by Senator Romney over biolab concerns. This guy is a complete freaking dick and always has been, and I've always admired Tulsi, even though, I'll tell you why I like Tulsi Gabbard. And a lot of people say, oh man, she's the young communist or whatever it is, but I like Tulsi Gabbard for one thing. She's a soldier. She understands that a lot of these people she works with, don't care about sending your kids to die in some foreign shithole. She knows that. She knows that. She's looking out for our soldiers and our kids. She understands what nonsense war is. That's why I like the lady, and she says it. She comes right out and says it. She was against illegal dronings. She's against illegal wiretapping by our government. And similar to, actually, her and Rand Paul are exactly alike in those ways as far as constitutional issues. But where I don't like Tulsi is her economic side of her. I think she's, I think she doesn't mind spending money that we don't have, and I think she doesn't understand economy issues very well. So as far as that goes, I think she's very left on that side, but she's smart when it comes to war stuff, and this guy's a moron. Again, my opinion. What else is going on out there? U.S. prices, double digit, nothing good. Oil, hey, and with gold and silver markets being rigged like they are, would it surprise anybody that the COMEX markets are also manipulating the price of oil too? Why would they do that? Well, because Russia has a lot of oil. You'd want to drive the prices down. It would cause them more grief. But what is that really? That's collusive price manipulation, no matter what the intention or reason it's done for. It's illegal, it sucks, and it's criminal. Again, regardless of the reason, all right? If they wanted people to drive the price of oil down, just ask everyone to stay home, but that's not going to happen. So they go and they manipulate these markets down, folks. If you think you're dealing in free markets that aren't manipulated by these assholes, then you are wrong, wrong, wrong. Peter's been warning about that forever, but he's absolutely correct. And what else do we got going on? Gosh, I hope so, but you know what? Here's my problem with this right here is that even if that happens, what are we going to do? We're going to put in more idiots like this, right? Think about that. We're going to put in more idiots like this, or will we get some people in like, where'd he go? Like this guy right here. And I know, not perfect, far from perfect, but when it comes to war, illegal spying, manipulative, illegal behaviors in markets, when it comes to that stuff, he's on our side, folks. Trust me on that. A couple things that you may not like about him, but when it comes to your money, when it comes to your freedom, when it comes to your constitution, when it comes to your, when it comes to wars, we need more people like this in there. We don't need anybody in there like this. In fact, you see this saying right here that I've got? This would apply to the current administration, in my opinion, this right here, but that ain't happening. And where else do we got to go from here? Well, I think I'm going to call it that because I could just go on. That's a shame, man. This guy is still in. That's just a shame. In fact, I would say that the UK criminal justice system should be thrown in jail themselves, or maybe they should bring back beheading or something like that, because it's just pure criminality what they've done to this guy right here and how long they've kept him in prison. It's criminal, folks. It's just, and why is he in prison? Because he's a whistleblower. Who did he whistleblow against? He whistleblew against the government. And of course, government loves whistleblowers when it's against people they don't like, but when it's against them, they put you in jail. They bury you under the jail like they did that poor guy. All right, anyways. I could go on forever here, but I'm not. Best deals out there in gold and silver? Wow. In silver, there are none, man. I hate to say this, there's just no product available out there. I've got some 1s and 10s and kilos left. We got some 100s left. I'm not sure what the availability is. Right now, we're on, after we run out of what I got, and if I can't get over-the-counter stuff, the wholesalers are talking about long delays in delivery, and that's not good. So we'll see what happens. So I'd say anything that you could buy for spot less than $4 an ounce, spot plus $4 an ounce, anything less than that is a winner chicken dinner if you can find it. Gold availability is still out there, folks. I don't think I've seen gold get any rare, but silver just off the charts unavailable. Gold available, but the premiums are higher for sure. And maybe with this price going down as well, there's going to be less sellers, and the price of the premium is going to go up on gold as well too. But gold, you can still pick up stuff for $75. You can still get gold bars, I think, for $75 or $80 over spot. I've got to double check those numbers today, which is a good deal. And a lot of the Eagles and other products are still under $130 under spot. But again, I better check that before I start saying that. But silver, man, just grab up whatever you can for spot plus 4 or under, whatever you can find right now, because it's just not available, especially if you're still stacking. If you're a new person that just got into this, just sit, buy, hold, And again, strictly my opinion, folks, but I've been doing this full time since 1977. Oh, let's get into yesterday's video. No silver for you. And, man, there's so many comments here. Folks, I'm going to have to start previewing all the comments and answering a few of them because my videos are getting bigger than I can handle as far as the comment section go. But you know me, I love to acknowledge every one of you great people out there. And I got to tell you one thing, is that my commenters, I mean, I see comment people on other pages and they're fighting with each other, calling each other names, but you guys get along really well. And I've actually learned a lot from watching comments amongst yourselves here. So thank you for that. Keep commenting down there, and do realize I read every single one of these, every one, even though I can't always acknowledge it or answer every one. And again, I'm going to just scroll down here. I'd like to thank every one of you guys. You know who you are. You know who you are. And I'm just kind of seeing if there's anything here I can answer immediately. Trading Places, yeah, well, that was a cool movie. Eddie Murphy, I remember, he was a funny guy. Well, I don't really see anything here. I mean, there's tons of stuff I can answer, folks, and every one of these comments here I could go off on and do a long thingy on. Oh, Bitcoin bears, I told you Bitcoin is done. Here's my reply from that. I never said Bitcoin was done, just institutionalized and turned into a glorified money market. As I've said from the beginning, governments and banks hate competition. That was my reply to this gentleman that thinks that, you know, I hope he doesn't think I'm a Bitcoin bear. I just, you know, maybe I am, I don't know. Let's see here. And, oh, he didn't say me. There you go. I didn't say you. I said Bitcoin bears. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, poor man. I appreciate that. I don't think you said me anyway. And if I thought you did, my apology. And thanks for your comments. I do appreciate opinions. I may not always agree with them, and you may not always agree with mine, but, man, it's nice to hear opinions and not a single narrative viewpoint. And that's what we need more of out there, opinions. And someone called me Mr. Brian Monkey Hammer Kuzmar. I like that. Duck, duck, gone. Yep, duck, duck, gone for me. All right, folks, I think I'm going to call it. This is Brian Kuzmar, and of course I haven't been posting this, but this is my theme for the year. Think for yourself, question authority, and even question what your narrative in your mind is. You know, what you believe to be the truth. Is it the truth? Have you researched it? Have you looked? Or were you just told it was the truth when you were a child, or by news stations, or by the narrative of society? Always question yourself. Hey, that's it. Thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in cloudy, rainy Lauderdale by the Sea. If you live in South Florida, please call me anytime between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays. We have a good staff here, can put you in the right direction. If you don't live in my area, find a good local dealer, because we do not ship, folks. We only deal locally here in South Florida in a brick and mortar type environment. Again, 10 to 4, Mondays through Fridays. And as you know, we advertise to be APMEX, SD, and J in bullion, as long as we have the product, and they have the product. And we advertise to beat their reasonably priced products, not the overpriced junk that you see on a lot of those sites. So, and again, nothing against them. They just got to put product out. They got bigger overhead. Hey, thanks for watching. Have yourself a good day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.